That makes sense. Hey guys, Aramis555 here, and I'm here with B-Man. I'm not gonna say 45, whatever that number is. Yeah, you don't even YouTube anymore.
I want to.
So does everybody. So yeah, coming to you guys with the Burning Abyss deck profile I promised you. Yeah, do you want to say anything before we get started? Or
BAs, I really think they're a great deck. Very combo-y, very solid, even with the hits to Graph and Seer. I love the deck, and I just feel like it was a really cool concept when they made it.
do you think it's still good?
I think it's still good. I think it probably does. It's a lot harder against some of the newer, more meta decks,
Like DDs?
Yes, and even though DDs aren't at their like prime yet, I think it's mostly because DDs have such a huge offense, and BAs don't. They don't have a huge offense.
Yeah, BAs have a hard time getting over big monsters. They always have. Yeah. All right, so let's get on with the profile, I guess.
Okay, so start off. You got your 3 Skarm. That good right there?
That's good focus.
Here's your Searcher, end phase, which is I feel like there is something to be said about him searching in the end phase is a little bit lackluster, but I think that kind of made the deck a little bit more fair when they did that.
It's a Dark Soul.
Yeah. 2 Seer, he got hit. Doesn't really affect things that much. In fact, like I find like you don't end up like milling double Seer off of a Dante, which was like horrible, but it's a little bit hard to get to, not noticeable really that much. Graph, very noticeable. This is really what hurt the deck. He's just so good, especially from the deck. The wonderful thing is that he's 1,000 attack, so you don't have to worry about him getting bottomless. You just got to worry about leaving him on the field when your opponent has banish effects. But other than that,
over a little bit more.
you get the Graph in your graveyard early on, and then you can just kind of go with the Seers and bring him back and keep advantaging from the deck. So you just got to play it out, and things will work out. This is the kind of new one, 3 Kagna, because I am playing more of the spells and traps, and you want to dump those to bring back with Dante and add into your hand, as well as you get good effects off of like Good and Evil. We'll go into that. Just really good. Tax all right too. He's a good mill. He's a really good mill. Like when you get him off of Dante mill, you're like, oh, that's solid and stuff like that. And he kind of replaces the Seer and the 2 Graphs you lost. 2 Farfa, really good card. This is what I mean, like when I say BA is not a good, really offensive deck, because it just removes problems and then attacks for game and does little chunks here and there and kind of works its way around your opponent with things like Barbar. And Farfa is another thing. It just works around your opponent, like banishes the monster and then attack for 25. Usually that'll take a giant chunk out of your opponent's life points. You can do that a few times, and then you can like Fire Lake their monster. It whittles your opponent down a lot little. Whereas because BA doesn't do that whole full offensive. I got like all these monsters that have more attack than you. It just kind of slowly picks away at your opponent's defenses. Right. So that's what Farfa is really good for, and I really think he's good at 2. I tried him at 1, and you never see him, and you never get to use him when you're in a pinch.
It's got a good defense too for level 3.
Oh yeah, 1900. You set him. You're like, you set a Skarm, and like, I'm gonna attack over. It's like, I still can't get over
resources on it.
Yeah. 2 Rubik. I liked 1, but you do need to play 2 because Virgil is just so much better now. Virgil's your kind of trump card, because just sending cards back to your opponent's hand or to your deck is just so much better. Dante is good milling, but after that, it's kind of like once your opponent gets some good effect monsters on the field, he's really lackluster. So the Virgil's really good, and sometimes you only need 1 because you can just bring him back with Seer and your Traveler plays and stuff like that. But you want to be able to get 1 in the graveyard, and you don't want your opponent to like banish it. So that's why it's good having 2. More names too, because like I said, we're running like the fusion spell and stuff. Then there's the 1-ups. Barbar. Burning, really good, except against DD.
Yeah, I like them life points.
Yeah. Just wins games. I almost won against Turbo Towers in a champs with this when really I had no out to Turbo Towers, and I just kept I kept stalling and whittling down his life points. I lost, but I got pretty close. I think I was at just like 31. I got him to 31. If he'd used a few more scouts, that probably would have been nice.
Yeah.
One Libic, really good got with the Mathematician play, as well as there's other ways to use him, and just especially if you have your opponent like gets a tour guide or a crane or something stuck on your field that blows up your monster. If you can use this guy to get a monster out negated, so you can go into your Dante or your Virgil, it just helps things out so much. But only one Alec. He's really underwhelming. But there's some cool plays with being able to negate the effect. Like I said, again, anything that allows you to negate the effect of your monster or your opponent's monster, that's pretty good, because you can stop your opponent's play, or you could potentially stop your monster from exploding if you have another monster on the field. So that's really important. When Drahig, or I don't even know how to pronounce this, like Draghig.
Maybe the G is silent. It's just Drahig.
With you running more spells and traps, you wanna have him, because you want to be able to place something on top of the deck. Especially it's really good with because we're running the fusion, because you can discard. Well, sorry, if you had used him for the fusion, you can place a trap or spell on top of your deck, and then you use his effect to discard and draw, and then you have that card already. So there's definitely ways to get to it. That's all the BA monsters.
Plus he's super.
Yeah. This is a super. He's like the only super normal monster.
Yeah, pretty originally. Much. Everything else is common or rare.
3 Crane, because now you want to get your stuff back you want to get your Graph and your Seers back from the graveyard. And it just kind of just helps you do that. Probably gonna cut one, because I notice when I have 3, I draw multiples. Like when I want to draw a BA card or something else, I draw into a second one.
It gives the deck a good normal summon though. Now
does.
Now that tour guide's gone, but I mean, like with 2, you could just kind of like without places the 2 tour guides. That
yeah, pretty much. Thing, So yeah. But yeah, I've been testing 3. I think I'll try 2. I like 2 better. Probably I'm gonna drop it in another card for like MSTs, because I find this deck really it gets hurt really against back row.
Yeah.
The one tour guide, yay, Alti. And the one Mathematician. I don't like Mathematician, but with Libic, I know you need to play him.
Well, you can always just summon it and dump Scarm, too.
That's true.
That's really the slowest opening play.
And if your opponent has to attack over him and let you get a draw, that's even better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is potential there, and it just opens more plays. And that's why you need one of him. Him at 2 in this deck sucks, and I kind of think people who played 2 needed to rethink things. And then BLS, which is BLS, because he's awesome, and you have all your XYZ or your XYZs and your Fusion and your Frank Virgil too. Yeah, they're all lights. So as soon as you make an extra deck card, you're like live.
Yeah.
But if
BLS wins games.
But if you can't make your extra deck live, he's actually really dead in the hand. That's the monsters. There's 25. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. Maxis.
Screw up. No, yeah. You gotta play Maxi right now.
Yeah, 2 Maxis. I don't like 3. That's just really preference.
Yeah, if you open 2, it's kind of bad. You just want to see 1.
It's still 25 monsters.
Yeah.
I just forgot those 2. Spells, start with the BA spells, Good and Evil and Terminus. I want to play Terminus because it's another, with the 3 Kagna, it lets you dump it. As well as I like the Fusion, so I want to try and play one of the Fusion, because he can really open up plays for you, and you can get this to your hand off of Good and Evil, because you just dump something from your hand and add this.
Plus Dante can add it back from the graveyard too.
Yeah, that's true too. As well as you can use Dante's, like, so if you can, like, if you Traveler a bunch of cards and you can Good and Evil then, and you have like a bunch of monsters, you can use Dante and like two other Burning Abyss monsters to bring back or to summon out the Pilgrim, and it's just so good because he's big and he can't be targeted, and he gets you draws and you just discard your Burning Abyss monsters. So it's actually really cool. And this card, I don't run the Ritual monster, but it's good for other things too, because you can really add anything to your hand, and it lets you do cool plays if you have something in your hand. Like if you have a Libic that's dead in your hand, and you have another monster, that just gets you an extra play right there. Plus, it adds whatever card you want to your hand.
Plus, Virgil can pitch it if you draw it. So.
And I think it has to resolve before like I said, if you dumped Libic, it has to resolve, and you can add any card. So that means you could add the monster you want to summon.
Because the one you discard will activate in separate chain.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
correct. Yeah.
So more plays, and that's what you really need with the deck right now. Then your Foolish, Soul Charge, Regeki. Not going to go into that too much. It's just really good cards for the deck. And
how do you like Soul Charge?
I love it. Yeah. I thought, I don't know about this Soul Charge, but it works out so good.
Yeah, you can just fill the graveyard up so easy with this deck.
Yeah, it's good. Then on to Traps. That was 5 spells. On to Traps, 3 Traveler. If you can play this card properly, it's amazing. You just got to watch out because you want to be able to. You want to open this card, and that's why you run 3 really. You want to open this card so you can set up your plays, and then when your opponent starts picking off your monsters, you can just bring them back and gain advantage off of it. Like I said, you really got to learn how to play this card right, because it can be really bad. Like if you set it at the wrong time and you can't get anything in the grave, and it's just staying on your board, and you can't special any BA monsters out. So you really got to watch out with that. Then 2 Fire Lake. This is literally like the card that makes the deck really good. Just being able to pop 3 of your opponent's cards.
Yeah.
But
Poops on pendulums.
You really have to set your plays up right, because right now with the Seer and the Graph, your opponent can tell when you're desperate to set up a Fire Lake. Because before you could put a Dante on the board and you automatically have like a Graph or a Seer on him, and you'd be able to get another monster, and it would just seem like that monster was just a bonus, and then you could set the Fire Lake, and you're like, he doesn't know if I have it or if I don't have it. But now it's so obvious, because some of the time you'll have it in hand and you'll be like, well, I should try and set it up, and you have to go out of your way to use your hand to set it up, and your opponent can tell like, oh, that was kind of... That took too much effort. He probably has a Fire Lake play, and then they can play around it. So you gotta be careful with that. And then you have the 1-ofs, Bottomless, great against Pendulums. Torrential, yay, this card's good again now that Shadows are dead. Vanities, Warning, and I'm probably gonna drop this, but I was testing it, so I'm scolding. You don't run that many traps, and it's just a good way to shut down your opponent's plays. But like I said, I was probably gonna drop one of the Crane, maybe this for 2 MSTs, because I feel like I need it.
It's been marinating for 12 hours. That was weak. Continue. Yeah, I just farted.
This is why you have more subscribers than me.
Subscribe for bad gas.
Okay. That's the deck, guys. 9 traps.
There's actually 10 traps. You can't count. I was just sitting here thinking, like, that doesn't make sense, because you said it's 25 monsters, 5 spells, and I was like, wait a minute, there's going to be 10 traps in there.
You're the one who counted and told me it was 9.
Dude, don't try and take this out on me. All right, extra deck.
Pilgrim.
Before the audience passes out from the gas.
I love this card, and I can't wait till Beatrice comes out so you can just make him for free.
So what does this guy do? Because a lot of people don't know.
He cannot be targeted by effects. He's got 2,800 attack, so he's decent size, and once per turn you can discard Burning Abyss card and draw 1 card. So it's really good because you can just draw and you get your Burning Abyss effects off. And you can do it during either player's turn. So if you set up your plays properly, like I said with Dahig or something like that, or what's another card that plays this card on? But if you can set your plays up right, it's really good, because like I did a play where I knew my opponent was going to have a strong next turn because I used Soul Charge and I couldn't attack. So what I did is I set it up that I used his effect to draw into Farfa. And then when my opponent starts their turn, I just go, Pilgrim effect, discard Farfa, so their monster they just special gets banished. And then I draw a card, and he has to kind of end because he can't really go on from there. Mm-hmm. He did his play, and I banished his monster. And then it comes back in the end phase, and I have time to go, okay, how do I get rid of it on my turn?
That's cool.
So it's really cool, and
it's pretty much free to make, because everything you're setting usually you're going plus or even off of. So yeah.
Then you got 2 Virgil now. Just feels a lot more important in the deck. I made I made a Virgil and used his effect, and then he got popped, and then I think I popped the Virgil, and then I sent it to the graveyard, and I seared it back and used his effect again in the same turn. It was really good because it just kept sending my opponent's cards. Or maybe...
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was thinking, it's the draw effect. You can only get once per turn. Yeah.
But then, I mean, like, I got
he's pretty awesome because you can abuse him like that pretty easily. Yeah.
And just, and you didn't even really think about it before because Seer was always about bringing your Dantes back. But now you're like, oh, wait, Seer can bring my Virgil back. Seer can bring this guy back. Oh, and I forgot to say... When this guy goes to the graveyard, he neg ones your opponent. They have to drop one card out.
Yeah, you randomly have to send a card from your hand to the graveyard.
So they're really good effects, and their graveyard effects are really great too. They are harder to make, but like I said, once Beatrice finally comes out, these cards will be like, well, I'm not gonna make a Dante. I'm gonna make a free Virgil, stuff like that. So it's really cool. Really great guys. Then you have your standard 3 Dante. Really good card. It's Dante.
Yeah. We get it. It's Dante.
1 Acid Golem. Don't play 2 anymore. He's just there. Might actually drop something for Skill Drain because I still think it's good in the deck.
Yeah, it is. Skill Drain OP.
And him with Skill Drain is really awesome. Then you got the 1 Nightmare Shark because you can win games. You know, if your opponent has a big field but they have low life points, you can technically, if your opponent has like 20, anything between 29, you can probably get them because if you have like a Barbar, you can get Barbar on the field and then make this and then detach and then 2000 and then Barbar for 900. So it actually, you can get a lot of damage with him. Alucard, equipped, and wind up Zen mains. Kind of finish it off for the level 3s. I use this from time to time. It's not as good as it was because there's so much cards that your opponent can just flip face up. So you're not always going to be able to hit sets. This guy's pretty good because he can protect your like your Virgil and stuff like that. And I like that. And the Zen mains, he's just there for extra like popping. If it's a situation where you think you can get a few pops off of him. Really hard nowadays because people just really know how to play around Zen mains. Then the 3 Down Magician for overlaying over top of Dante. Pretty simple. And, it helps you get your Dante searches because a lot of the time if I leave Dante on the field, he's going to get banished. And that sucks because then you can't get your BLS plays either.
Nope.
And then F-Zero. I haven't made this card in a while, but I still think it's really amazing. I stalled out Turbo Towers like...
You make it with two XYZ monsters
of the same
rank. Okay. Yeah.
So like just 2 Dantes. As simple you have 2
and the
Dantes
detach off them and you get your searches too. So
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. And just he's so good just against things that you need to stall out against. I stalled out probably 8 or 9 turns against Turbo Towers with this card. I just
what does it do again?
Can't be destroyed.
And the damage step this card battle opponent's monster, you take control of opponent's monster, then battle this card face will be destroyed by a card effect. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
So it's good. Like if it was any other monster, I would have been able to gain advantage off of him. But Towers,
yes.
Which is
luckily it's banned now, so.
Which is not a problem anymore.
Cool. All right, well, thanks for the deck profile, Brendan. Let's get this to 30 likes, and I will have an Ignite deck profile for you guys. All right.
And
you got something to say?
Check out BMan4577X.
You're not gonna do. You know how many times you said that you're gonna post up a video and you haven't? You have that guilty look on your face right now. Exactly.
No, I'm gonna try and post stuff, guys. I've been trying to get back on my channel. It just with work and stuff like that, I just find
you have to do more racist alligator. That's what you gotta do.
Yes,
just convert your channel into a racist alligator.
Everybody watch racist alligator on Graham's channel. We want to get that to like
no, don't do that.
250 likes.
I'm gonna lose subscribers again. I finally just want 2,100. I don't want to lose more. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.